I was about 15 years old the first time I watched The Matrix, and like most people who saw it for the first time, I was completely blown away. The action, the philosophy, the idea that everything you think is real might be a carefully constructed lie. I watched it again a few years later as a committed Christian, and something completely different hit me. I paused it about 40 minutes in and just sat there, because I wasn't watching a science fiction film anymore. I was watching the Gospel of John, set in a dystopian future, with leather coats and bullet time. Today, we are going through the Matrix connection by connection, not just the surface ones everybody mentions, but the deep theological architecture that the Wachowskis built into this film. And by the end, I think you will struggle to watch it the same way again. Let's go. Let's start at the very beginning. His name, Neo itself, an anagram of one. 3 letters rearranged. The One, the Chosen, the Messiah. The Wachowskis put his entire theological identity inside his name before he speaks a single line. Every Messiah needs someone to announce him. In the Gospel of Luke, before Jesus begins his public ministry, there is John the Baptist. John's entire purpose in the narrative is singular. He is not the main character. He is the one who prepares the way, who tells people, someone is coming, someone greater than me, someone whose sandals I am not worthy to untie. He baptizes, he preaches, he points, and then Jesus arrives, and John's role is essentially complete. Now look at Morpheus. Morpheus has known for years that the One is coming. He has searched for him. He has believed when others doubted. He has built his entire mission around finding and preparing the chosen person. When he finds Neo, he doesn't give him power directly. He gives him a choice: the red pill or the blue pill. He baptizes him into reality. And from that moment, Morpheus steps back. He supports, he protects, he believes even when Neo himself doesn't believe yet. When Neo dies at the hands of Agent Smith, Morpheus doesn't give up. He maintains his belief that Neo is the one even when the evidence suggests otherwise. That is John the Baptist, the one who announces, the one who prepares, the one whose faith in the coming one never wavers even in the darkest moment. Every Messiah story needs a betrayer. In the Gospel accounts, Judas Iscariot is one of the 12, one of the inner circle, someone who had walked with Jesus, eaten with him, witnessed everything, and he sold him for 30 pieces of silver, not out of pure malice necessarily. Most scholars suggest Judas was motivated by a complex mixture of disillusionment, greed, and perhaps a misguided attempt to force Jesus into revealing his power. He made a deal with the enemy. Now look at Cypher. Cypher is part of the crew. He has been in the resistance. He knows the truth about the Matrix. He has eaten the food and lived the hard life of the Nebuchadnezzar. And he makes a secret deal with Agent Smith. He will betray his crew, betray Morpheus, betray Neo, in exchange for being reinserted into the Matrix, to live a comfortable lie, to eat a good steak that he knows isn't real but tastes real. He trades the truth for comfort. He is Judas, right down to the moment he makes his deal in a restaurant, sharing a meal with the enemy, while his companions trust him completely. In Matthew chapter 4, immediately after his baptism, Jesus is led into the wilderness, and Satan comes to him 3 times. Each temptation is an offer. Turn these stones into bread. Throw yourself from the temple and let angels catch you. Bow to me, and I will give you all the kingdoms of the world. Each offer is essentially the same proposition. You don't have to do this the hard way. You don't have to suffer. Just compromise. Just once. And you can have everything without the cross. Jesus refuses every time. Now look at the conversation between Agent Smith and Neo during the interrogation scene. Smith removes Neo's mouth, renders him literally unable to speak, then makes him an offer. Cooperate, give us what we want, and this ends peacefully. And later, in the offer to Cypher, Smith sits across a restaurant table and makes the same deal. You don't have to live this hard life. Come back. Be comfortable. Just give me what I need. Agent Smith is the adversary, the accuser, the one who approaches the chosen and offers an alternative path, one that bypasses suffering, bypasses sacrifice, bypasses the mission. He is the Satan of the Matrix, and his name is not accidental either. Smith, the most generic, most anonymous name in the English language. He is nobody in particular. He is the system itself given a face. The adversary has no true identity of his own, only the power of the world he controls. Now we get to the moment that should stop every Christian viewer completely. Near the end of the film, Neo is shot by Agent Smith at point-blank range in a corridor, shot repeatedly, at close range, by the most powerful being in the Matrix, and he falls. On board the Nebuchadnezzar, his body flatlines. Monitors show no activity. Trinity watches his vital signs stop. He is dead. Now, if you track the rate of fire in that corridor scene carefully and count the rounds, the number of bullets that enter Neo's body is 14. There are 14 stations of the cross, the 14 key moments in the final journey of Jesus, from his condemnation under Pontius Pilate to his burial in the tomb, mounted in every Catholic church as a visual record of what he endured. 14 stations, 14 bullets, 1, 2, 3, counting right up to death. And then, Trinity leans over his body on the ship and speaks to him. She tells him she loves him. She tells him he cannot be dead because the oracle told her she would fall in love with the One, and the One cannot be dead. And Neo's eyes open. He stands up inside the Matrix, and nothing that was dangerous before can touch him anymore. He sees the code. He sees through the system. He stops bullets in midair. He walks into Agent Smith and dismantles him from the inside. The resurrection does not just restore him, it transforms him. He is more powerful after death than he ever was before it. That is the theological claim of the resurrection in every gospel account. The risen Christ is not simply a resuscitated corpse. He is something qualitatively different. He passes through walls. He appears and disappears. He is recognizable and yet changed. Death did not just fail to hold him. It became the mechanism through which his full power was revealed. One more figure worth examining carefully. Trinity. Her name alone carries the theological weight of an entire doctrine: the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, the three in one. But her narrative role maps most directly onto Mary Magdalene. In the Gospel accounts, Mary Magdalene is the first person to encounter the risen Jesus. She goes to the tomb. She finds it empty. She encounters him before anyone else does. In the Matrix, Trinity is the one who speaks over Neo's dead body. She is the one whose declaration of love and faith precedes his resurrection. She is present at the death and present at the return. She is not peripheral to his story. She is the one whose belief calls him back. Here is where the Matrix goes deeper than a simple Jesus retelling. The Wachowskis have confirmed that the film draws simultaneously on Christianity, Buddhism, and Gnosticism. And the Gnostic layer is worth understanding because it adds a dimension that pure gospel comparison misses. In Gnostic theology, the material world is not the creation of the supreme God. It is the creation of a lesser, flawed divine being, the Demiurge, who constructed a false reality to trap divine sparks of light inside human beings. The supreme God sends a revealer, a figure who comes not to die for sins, but to wake people up, to show them the prison they are in, to give them the knowledge, the gnosis, that liberates them from the false world. The Matrix is built on this framework as much as the gospel one. The system, the Matrix, is the false world created by a lesser power to keep human beings trapped and unaware. Neo is the revealer. He does not come primarily to atone, he comes to wake people up. And the red pill is gnosis, the hidden knowledge that once received cannot be unfelt. The Wachowskis were not just making a Jesus film. They were making a film about what happens when the liberating figure from every tradition, Christian, Buddhist, Gnostic, is translated into the language of a world that can no longer recognize him in his original form. So they put him in a leather coat and made him dodge bullets and hoped that the story, which has always worked, would work again. It did. There's a line near the end of the film that I think is the most theologically honest thing in it. When Neo calls the machines from a payphone at the very end, he says, "I'm going to show these people a world without boundaries, a world where anything is possible." That is not the language of a superhero. That is the language of resurrection, a world without the boundaries that death imposes, without the limitations that the false system enforces, without the ceiling that the adversary has placed over human possibility. The Wachowskis took the oldest story in Western civilization, the story of a chosen figure who comes from outside the system, is betrayed by one of his own, is killed by the powers of the world, and rises more powerful than before. And they asked one question: what would that story look like if we told it today? And the answer was, it would look exactly like this. Drop a comment. Which connection surprised you most? And if you know someone who has watched The Matrix 100 times and never seen the gospel inside it, share this with them. Subscribe if you're new. We go deep here every single time. Peace.